KO Magazine named you the Fighter of the Year.
Correct.
And in your first title defense, you knocked out Juan Roldan.
Oh, tough guy, tough guy.
8th round.
It was weird, Vlad, because 3 years before that, or 4 years before that, I'm at my mom's house in Davenport watching Juan Roldan fight Marvin Hagler. And 3.5 years later, I'm in the ring, look across the ring, I'm ready to fight this guy. So that was exciting, amazing.
Right. So now you've defended your title one time, and then you had your second defense. Former champion Sumbu Kalambay?
Yeah, Sumbu Kalambay, yeah.
Now, this was a hell of a fight.
Well, it was supposed to be at the time, supposed to be my toughest fight. And then this kid, Sumbu Kalambay, had never lost to American middleweight before. He had beat Iran Barkley, I think Doug DeWitt, and then Michael McCallum. So he beat some great champions from the States. So, and for me to go out there and obliterate him, it was a great moment.
First round knockout.
It was something that happened that we never went out looking for that, because when we were at the training camp, we trained to box him for 12 rounds because, he's a good fighter. I mean, we just go out there and catch him with a shot. I mean, we wasn't going out looking for no knockout, but it's weird that Joe Goosen knew I would knock him out, which is crazy, but my mindset was just be sharp in boxing because he was a classic fighter as well and a good fighter. And, Joe just always knew I was going to knock him out, but my mindset wasn't really to knock him out, but unfortunately the shot came 88 seconds after the first round, and I threw it, and it caught him, and it got him out of there. We trained to box him for 12 rounds.
Yeah. Well, that became the knockout of the year.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Because it was something that we've done that nobody anticipated. When it happened, it shook the world, you know what I'm saying? So there's the opportunity. I got a chance to shock the world. He can't punch, he can't do this, can't do that. Well, he just knocked the WBA middleweight champion of the world out in 88 seconds of the first round. And at that particular time, Vlad, that was the third fastest knockout in the history of the middleweight division.
Huh.
I think Marvin Hagler had the fastest. Then there's a guy like Henry Grubb had the second fastest, and I'm third on the list. So that was a crown achievement moment for me as well. So I can't punch, I can't do none of these things, but I'm doing all these special things.
Did you actually unify the belts with that fight?
Believe it or not, what happened, we were supposed to unify the belts, but when we got in the ring and the bell rung, the WBA stripped Colombe. So when I knocked him out in the 88 seconds of the first round, I'm thinking I'm getting a belt. I'm not getting another belt, but my promoter Bob Arum, he made it up for us because, like I said, we got, I think, $1 million apiece for the fight. But there was some other things done for me, and I thank Mr. Bob Arum for doing what he done because, like I said, it was such a crown achievement moment, and just to go out there and devastate and destroy Colombe like that. Because I'm not gonna brag. I knew I was gonna do that. No, it wasn't about that because my thing was to box, be sharp, and be classic and just beat him because, he's a good fighter. I'm taking nothing from him then as well as now, and we got him out of there. And I'm just glad I got the victory. And I'm glad I threw that overhand left when I threw it.
Well, you got $1 million for that fight.
Yes, I did.
That was the most money you ever got at that point.
Yeah, at that time, yeah.
What did you do with the money? I mean, coming from, a single mom with 4 kids.
Well, I took care of my family, took care of my mother, my kids, and, took care of myself as well. But, I enjoyed it, you know what I'm saying? I earned it. So, it's crazy, Vlad. When I knocked Colombe out that night, I lost $1 million check. I lost the check. It's documented. What happened, after the fight, we was going to go out and stuff. They're like, hey, you middleweight champion of the world, you knocked Colombe out, do this and that, Got $1 million check. I stuffed it in my sock after the fight. Don't even shower, nothing, just throw my clothes on. They're like, you're the middleweight champion of the world, let's go. So we go hang out, have a couple of drinks and go celebrate, right? So when I get back to the hotel room that night, my brother said, where's the check? I said, it's in my sock. I go to look, and the check is gone.
You lost $1 million
Listen,
check.
I lost, it's a true story. It's worldwide. They know this. I lose $1 million check. So I get back to the hotel room, we get back to the Hilton, and my brother said, where's the check at? That's also in my sock. I go in my sock, it's not there. I said, oh man, you lost the check. So what happened, they got a hold of Bob Arum. They said, don't even worry about it. Who's going to cash $1 million check on Sunday in Las Vegas by the name of Michael Nunn if it's not Michael Nunn? So they said, Bob Arum says if we don't find the check, he'll just give me another check because it ain't like somebody's going to cash $1 million check, right? On a Sunday in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to do that? Who's going to do that?
I'm sure you were freaking out though.
Oh, no, crazy, man. I'm losing my mind. But so Goosen tells me, he said, no, he said, just relax, man. He spoke to Bob Arum, and Bob Arum said if the check is not retrieved or found or whatever, that he would rewrite us a check. So about maybe an hour later, the guy that works downstairs in the bar room where he's at, he finds a check. So when he finds a check, the guy, he goes tells his people at the Hilton, hey, here's the champ's check. I want to give it to him. And they said, oh, you know what? He go up to his room and, give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So he come up to the room. I took care of him. I think he gave him like $400 or $500. Loose change that Atlanta around here, man. The guy didn't want the money. He knocked on the door. So we in the room, we eating and having a couple of drinks, socializing, having a great time. And when the doorbell rings, my brother goes to the door, let him rest in peace. He said, I think one of the maids or something. I said, what does he want? Let him in. What's going on? Oh, I got a check for Michael Nunn or whatever. And they said, here's your check. I said, let him in. So that was kind of cool, man. I'm glad what happened while we was out dancing and stuff at the hotel. The check must have fell out on the dance floor or whatever. But the guy, when he's cleaning up, he found it and he bought me my check. So thank God for that. So
Crazy
Bob
story.
Arum didn't have to write me another check.
Crazy.
Yeah.